this is Ilina and welcome to another LDRS creative card video. In this video, I will show you how to make these sparkly acetate sheets, and also we're going to use a new stamp set from the Fall Winter Collection 2020 called 34th Street. We're going to use the little house and the coordinating die. Also in a little bit, we'll use a new paper pad, MacKenzie Christmas. So let's go first into the technique. I have here a box of laminating pouches. I'm using the 3mm laminating pouches, but you can use 3 or 5, it doesn't really matter. And I have also my laminator. I'm using some LDRS Creative white embossing powder to sprinkle all over the inside of that laminating pouch. I'm adding some glitter, some chunky glitter, some even more like kind of confetti glitter, and I will add few sequins. This is the first sheet we're gonna create, and after this one I'll create another one which I will actually use for my card. I decided to go without the sequins since I wanted kind of more white snowy background for my card. So I'm just adding the sequins. You can use anything you would like, just make sure that all the things that you put inside are flat. So when you run this through your laminator, the embossing powder will melt and create snowy effect. The more embossing powder you have inside, the more white will be that background will be more white. So here you'll notice that my embossing, not the embossing, but the laminating pouch is kind of got crinkled on the side because I didn't put it straight. But you can also always use just the top part because this is like large sheet and you have plenty to use for multiple projects. So here I'm doing the second one. I'm adding more embossing powder, white embossing powder that I had on the previous one. I'm adding some glitter embossing powder. I'm adding some chunky glitter, and I will add some glitter confetti that's kind of iridescent. So when you move it, it kind of changes color depending how the light falls on it. Also, I'm using a piece of folded printer paper on the top. Since I don't have support of a paper being inside that laminating pouches, I needed a little bit of reinforcement to run it through the laminator so it doesn't get crinkled up inside and stuck inside. So this is almost done. It's almost true that the laminator, you can use any laminator, just make sure that it's on a heat setting, not cold. So here is that sparkly sheet here. So don't get scared because it's not even everywhere. We're just going to use piece of that laminating pouch. Next, we're going to stamp that little house from the stamp set. I'm using white cardstock and Raven hybrid ink. The hybrid ink is alcohol marker friendly. Also, it's waterproof, so you can use any coloring medium. In the meantime, I die cut this one. And I'll set that aside for now and create my note card. I'm using piece of 4 1/4 by 11 white cardstock, and I folded it in half. I'm marking here to be a little bit below the top of the house and a little bit above the bottom. And what we're gonna do is trim along those marked pieces to create a window. And you will see kind of the card is now like in multiple pieces, but we're gonna piece everything back together. To add a little bit more interest, I'm adding score lines on the top and the bottom. So those score lines will frame the window. I'm adding there 2 score lines on each side, and they're 1/8 of an inch apart. Next, I'm trimming this window sheet, the laminating pouch, to be higher than our window, so it kind of overlaps and we can adhere it more securely. And I'm trimming it to width 4 1/4, same width as our note card. So you can see it here, and also I cut a piece of aqua or pool cardstock to go underneath on the inside of the note card. I'm adding some double-sided adhesive on both sides of the acetate sheet or the laminating pouch. And then also I will add the double-sided tape on the inside of my note card along the edge and also on the bottom piece. So this will ensure that that acetate sheet is nice and securely adhered together on our note card. Now I'm lining it up, making sure that it covers the top and the bottom. I'm removing the adhesive on both sides on that top part and kind of rubbing it to make sure that it's nice and secure. Before I adhere the bottom piece, I decided that probably I should stamp the sentiment. And I'm using my stamp positioning tool to make sure that it's nice and straight. I'm using again the Raven hybrid ink to stamp the sentiment also. I'm stamping it twice to have nice and intense black sentiment. So I'm going to put that aside and we're going to finish assembling our note card. So when you add the bottom piece, make sure that lines up with the bottom on the back side of that note card. Now I'm just marking up where that pull piece of cardstock should go, so we ensure that the entire height of the window is covered. So again, I did pencil marks to make sure that it's adhere that between those pencil marks. I'm using a T-ruler to make sure that it's nice and straight and it's parallel with the bottom edge of that note card. Now it was a little bit sticking out from the side, so I used my paper trimmer to trim that. Next, what we'll do is just cut some strips from MacKenzie Christmas pattern paper. I'm using the pink snowflake pattern. I'm adding some shimmer pen on top. So I'm doing four. I just decided to use one pink and one of the pool colored strips, the same cardstock that we have on the inside of our note card. I set those aside and now we're just gonna color the little house. I'm using combination of pink and aqua or pool colors. Kind of ties everything together with that pattern paper and that blue background inside the note card. I added also some shimmer pen on the window and the snow. So next I used foam adhesive to adhere the house on my note card. Now we're gonna adhere the little strips. I'm adding two underneath the house and I'll save the others for next project. Also I have a die cut that's not stamped from the same house. So now let's take care of the inside. Since you can see adhesive, I cut two pieces of white cardstock and adhere in the back to cover that extra acetate and also to cover the back of the house so you don't see the bleed through marker and also you don't see those foam squares. To finish off the card, I'm adding some rhinestones to represent more kind of snow and more sparkly background there. I'm adding liquid adhesive to adhere those. And our card is finished. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to LDRS Creative YouTube channel and also visit the blog for more ideas and more inspirations. Thanks for watching and see you soon in another video. Bye!